Hello, my name is Leo. Welcome back to another episode of Colombian Space Initiative in Supreme Rule Ultimate. And in previous episode, the United States decided to land on Cuba and annex them, and we saw that China had pushed Japan out of Korea and China, and they've been trying to do some landings in Japan itself, but those have been going quite terribly, at least so far. I mean, honestly, if I was China, I'd probably try to take Formosa first, because they are not technically at war with them. The Japanese probably have a lot less navy around there, and honestly that would give a bit of protection against potential air raids. I don't think they've been doing any air. Actually, is there any airfields in here? No. Okay, never mind then. So it's maybe not that important. But yeah, taking out that one would be a nice stepping stone to over here, and then over here to these islands. And, you know, slowly but surely clear out the surroundings and force the Japanese to be confined into their home islands for the time being. But anyway, we are about to get the power grid. I did skip ahead a little bit, and I did pause the waste management for a little bit to get a few technologies that are not quite as expensive to do. Also, right, so we can unpause that now. We are building another synthetic rubber plantation here, which is probably going to be costing us quite a bit here, unfortunately. Oh, we did actually get... Okay, so it wasn't 50% from the original amount, but 50% from the amount that you are currently producing. Okay, well that's... So it's a multiplier, not added bonus, basically. That's rather handy then. So we are actually now selling some electricity, at least in theory. Not making a lot of money out of it, but I suppose better than nothing. Still supporting Australia, of course. Oh, and we got another patrol. You know what, you also skill reserve in here, so that means that we are currently building... Oh, right, we've got the remaining tanks in here. Now, if we had the money, which we do not, we'd probably want to build another research lab, quite frankly, because we've noticed that we are utterly behind in tech knowledge, which is less than ideal. But let's go ahead and get some more artillery. So we'll get 5 of these, and then we'll get 2 heavy supply trucks, and we'll probably put them on the border with Panama to, you know, aid in taking over these. Actually, the capital is in this side. Interesting. So we might be able to capture the entire thing. Maybe. Now, to be fair, we have used most of our cash right now, and still not quite done with that, so we may need to pause the construction work for a little while. Sooner rather than later. And how much are we spending? About 10, well, technically 14 million for research. That is quite a bit. Of course, the construction is probably... quite a massive portion of that is 30 million. So without the construction, we could be making quite a bit of money here. Now, I have lowered some of the social funding, but that remains to be seen. If it's going to be enough to keep our economy running. Okay, we're down to 180 million, 150 million. I'll wait until we... You know what, we might actually just have enough cash to do this, though I'm not entirely sure. You know what, no, I think we're going to have to pause that for a little while, gather up the money to be about 200 million again. It should be doable, although, well, we'll see. At least we are making money, so there's that. Decided to wait with the waste management a little bit because it will be about 10 to, well, about 12 million, I think, per day or something like that, for funding it on full level. So, I mean, we are currently about, what, 62%, which isn't all that massive, to be fair, but yeah, we can't afford going full speed with this many. Ooh, hold on a minute, did we sell something important there? Maybe a little bit. Actually, no, we're no longer selling the electricity. I see. Because the price has dropped. Okay, we'll just sell it. Sell what we can. Actually, one thing that I suppose I could do You know what, no, I'll keep the domestic price at 50% for the time being. So how is our approval rating? Is still almost 32%, which means that when the next election comes, well, next year actually, we'll probably still win that, assuming that we can keep the population somewhat happy. We do have the motorized engineers over here. And do we have the... We got the engineers at the capital, and we did have some engineers somewhere else, I just don't remember where. That's the elite guard, oh, now I remember. When they're around... Yeah, we got some on the... there, some on there, and then on capital. Okay, that counts for all three groups. Never mind then. Okay. So yeah, our expenditures are rather massive, and partially because our production costs are just so massive. I mean, not producing much extra in metal ore right now, because I know that it's just not necessarily worth the expenses. Even coal is kind of there and there, if it's worth it. Petroleum is certainly worth it. Timber would be kind of worth it, maybe. But it's just... We don't need massive amounts of that. We've got quite a bit of production of it already. Agriculture is certainly worth the production cost. But yeah, military goods is currently the one that is providing us the most money. Although I don't think there's... Oh, Argentina has started importing. Oh. And Japan. And then Germany and China, of course. Let's actually have a look at China again. They're still fighting the Japanese Navy in here. Japanese Navy goes in, does a little bit of bombardment. Not particularly effective by the looks of it. At least not all of them are. Then as soon as they take enough damage they run back. Oh, well, they've gotten a lot of experience at least, that's for sure. And those are actually rather good ships, as far as I can tell. But yeah, this phase of war will probably last for quite a while over there. Actually, is Soviet Russia still fighting people? No, okay. But they did manage to retake at least some of their lands. Oh right, they got that area there and then this area here. Also, whose troops... Oh, why are the Chinese troops going through Iran here? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But apparently they are. Well, we've got another 130 million... Would that be enough to complete that? I don't think it is. I'll wait at least until 150 million before I do that. Now we are about 2 months away from the military production level 3, and that should unlock a fair bit of various unit types. Not sure if it's going to be unlocking a lot for us, to be fair. Not necessarily directly, but somewhere down the line should be rather useful. And then it does unlock the tank tech 54 and weapons industry advances. Both of which are, well, that's actually not too expensive. This one, on the other hand, is a little bit... Trying to stabilize gun mounts, on the other hand, does lead to armored science level 5, which I believe some of these will be new units, if I remember correctly. I mean, there are new units, but I'm not entirely sure which ones are worldwide and which are not. But yeah, this goes down the military production line. We don't necessarily need to be particularly effective on that line, because that is not the target, but especially if you want to plan on having a military-focused game, then you'll need to focus quite a bit on those. Now, we might just have enough money to complete this now. I may have started a bit too early. No, it's been completed, okay. So at least we have enough rubber production again. So we can actually... Ooh, right, we're selling some of that. Not for a very good profit, though. Low the sell profit of 80%, more or less, and we can then maybe lower that a little bit. So at least we can make a few or little pittance of money back from that production. Right, so if we have a look at unemployment down to 3.7%. Now, if we had the money, which we do not, I'd like to build another research lab. But again, it's just the fact that industrial goods are basically worthless. right now. Military goods are rather valuable, but there's only so much that we can produce them, and it's very expensive to start investing in producing more. Now, to be fair, we got a lot of industrial goods in reserve. Actually, have a look. How much would a, say, hydropower plant produce now? 260,000 megawatts per hour per year. It's not too bad. Although the coal power plant produces 325. Now the nuclear would produce 650, which is actually quite a bit more. It's double that. Interesting. Then of course there's petroleum power plants, which would be essentially a little bit better. Not necessarily as effective in... Oh! Do we have that much agriculture? I suppose we do. They're offering us oil for food. Okay, I'll take that. I mean, to be fair, having some extra oil is not a bad idea. Now, have we got on still anything that... You still don't want to pay for that? Alright then. They do have quite a few things that we do not. I wonder how many research labs do they have? We should be able to see it through here. Research centers. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7. Okay. That's interesting. We are building more troops, are we not? Yeah, we got most of the artillery group ready. We're actually losing a little bit of money right now. Why is that? Is it because we're just selling less consumer goods or something? And the consumer goods price is still 1,600. No, 1,300 profit there per ton. Which isn't all that bad, to be fair. A little bit of stockpile there, but not massive. Still making some progress here and in the military production, and then we'll get the fighter plane design improvements rather soon after that. This is one of the more expensive research that we're currently doing, so that's good to get out of the way. And there's the particle beam focusing, is going to take a long while. I actually wonder, do we have the... No, okay, so I believe the power grid efficiency things, we've already done all of them. But we'll see. Okay, so how long until we get the 5 more days and we get the heavy supply truck? And after that, I think I'm just gonna get another set of elite guards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5, so it's easy to keep track of them. And I can look like the number of units, and I can see, okay, so if I've lost some, then I'll easily see if not dividable by 5. So it kind of makes my life a little bit easier should we start a war or be declared war upon. Ooh, Ecuador is quite likely now. It's the second most likely right now. It's probably not going to go down much. So this group is ready. Just move them down that way. Luckily, the railway network makes moving the troops rather easy. Got a little bit of reserves here just in case they start going around here or something. Or if a lot of our troops need to rest, so we can just, you know, utilize that there. No, we don't actually have a barracks around here, do we? No, our closest barracks is... whereabouts? There, I believe? Or there? Either one. We probably might want to build a barracks over there. On the other hand, if we capture that, we can utilize that barracks. I suppose that would work. But, you know, we need to prepare for a potential war. Let's have a look. How good of oh, they do have 70% war justification. I mean, so do we, but... the treasury is 500 million, which is actually a lot more than what we have. If we were to capture the capital, we'd be getting a portion of that. I don't remember how big of the portion is, but a decent portion nonetheless. Okay, that is almost completed. Question is, how massive is our research cost going to be now? Because we're going to start on the waste management. It's not a massively long-term... 18... yeah, no, we're going to drop back to 10 million, so that's leaving us with what? About 40? 36%. Ooh, that's not great. There's a lot of warfare stuff that we might want. Jet aircraft is not too bad, actually. Weapon industry advances. That would be quite expensive. I'll put that in there, and maybe the tank tech. Both of those are a bit long-term, or, well, not all that long-term techs, to be fair. The science, laser system, Sterling radioisotope generators, right. What does that unlock? Converters, thermal systems, electromagnetic guns. Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, it's going to be a lot of things to get up here, but yeah, that's quite interesting. Is there any unit types that we could... Oh, right, the foxholes. That's actually not too bad unit design. Put that in there. Paratroopers we probably don't need because we don't have any actual planes to carry them. Do we have any tank designs? Not really. Anti-tanks. We've got a decent attack value there. I'll put you up into the list. Ooh, new howitzer. Is that... It's a bit shorter range actually, but it does have very good damage. Where's that? Well, that has some pretty good damage on ships especially. Put that into the list. But yeah, I prefer to have my start with decent range. Speaking of range, do we have anything with at least 16? Oh, well, I suppose I could get you. We'll update our unit designs quite a bit. We'll probably get the supply truck as well. Not sure if we'll be using it, but there's going to be plenty of unit designs here for a while, so that's going to save us a little bit of cost, especially once we get the fighter plane design. Because we are spending quite a bit on the research. So 14 million, I mean, it's not the largest expenditure by far, but still quite substantial. Now let's have a look. So, social spending is still 42 million, taxation is only 43. Well, I don't think we're going to really increase the tax all that much. So why is the social spending? I mean, infrastructure is pretty high, environment is growing a little bit, law enforcement, healthcare is back to 10 million. I mean, healthcare is still close to 100%. I don't think we want to lower that too much. Look, let's have a quick look at our population. Almost 60 million is growing. Oh wow. Oh wow. About 600 million, not 600 million, 600,000 per year. Literacy is still fairly low. I mean, 89% is not, I suppose, all that low, but you know, they don't need to read as long as they can work. Alright, so the fighter plane design is going to take quite a while. I mean, the waste management is also going to take a while, but the pollution levels are going to go down and healthcare rating is going to go up. So I think that is going to be a very useful thing for us. And it doesn't increase the healthcare costs, so that means that we can maybe even lower the funding a little bit further. Not to mention the environment cost is going to go down because the pollution levels go down. But it will take some time to reach there. Supply truck is going to be 40 days, but it's going to be very cheap research. We'll probably try to keep the funding or project development somewhere between 10 and 11 million for the time being, so that we are still making money, but that we're not, you know, slowing down the research too much. Okay, so the Chinese still have a lot of troops here. Actually got a pretty good tank design, I reckon. Let's actually have a look at that. Oh wow, yeah, you do have pretty good tank design. We'd need to have the armor design level 5 and tank deck 54 to actually have those, though. That's a bit of a problem there. Oh, they started firing on... Well, someone started firing on United States fleet there. I wonder if USA and Japan are going to start fighting, or USA and China, because that would be interesting. Probably not a lot would be happening other than naval warfare for a long while, but that would certainly be interesting to see what happens from that. Right, so is this... Yeah, United States... Well, Philippines is kind of a puppet for, or colony for the United States here. But they have the military bases in there. Let's have a look. How's the provocation going? Japan is likely to attack us. Interesting. Panama is also getting a bit likely. And Ecuador. I mean, technically, if by 1960 we haven't entered into a war, and our provocations have not worked, then I might increase the volatility for a little bit so that more wars happen. Because more wars means that production costs will go higher or up for other nations as well. And the demand for various things is gonna skyrocket. For example, industrial goods, military goods, consumer goods, that sort of stuff. The demand for those will skyrocket, and, you know, there's gonna be less people producing them. Well, I suppose it's more like the supply will drop rather than the demand will skyrocket. But it has the same effect. For the price anyway, so we'd be able to make a decent bit of money from selling the industrial goods, for example, again. Electric power is... Well, I mean, I suppose the electric power demand is growing quite quickly. I'm going to increase the price here to 60% again. Just so that we can keep kind of the demand in check for the time being. There we go, fighter plane design improvements. I remember that we needed that for something, but I don't remember exactly what it was. There's the air-to-air missile concepts that we needed. Hold on. Surface to air missile, then modern missile prototypes, was it that? Missile guidance, modern ballistic missile. Okay, so this is where we were trying to aim to. We got the satellites already, we just need to backtrack here, so... Oh, right, yeah, it was the second side over here that we needed. No, actually, we already have that. We need the aircraft construction, fly-by-wire system. Oh, did we not? We do not have a jet aircraft. We should probably get that one on the list if we actually want to get through this. So with that in there, we're going to be quite a bit behind in tech for a while again. And all of our neighbors are basically ahead of us because everything... Well, the AI is very keen on building more research labs, and it's not a stupid idea either. Ooh, actually, we're making a lot more money now. Because the funding dropped. At least a little bit. I think we can go for 11 million now. Just so that, you know, we can get through these researches a little bit faster. Okay, now we're not making as much money anymore, but that's okay. So 230 days for the... Oh, a war? On Mexico? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, well... Whatever happens in this war, I'm gonna lose a trade partner here. On the other hand, Mexico is not as weak as you might think. And we can see both sides of this war. That's gonna be interesting. Question is, how massive are we of... Well, there's not a massive conga line approaching yet, but it will probably soon enough. Well, that means that the demand for both industrial goods and military goods is going to start skyrocketing. Or rather, as soon as they start destroying stuff, then they need to repair, then that's going to require some industrial goods. And, ooh, infantry Lee over there is taking rather heavy hits, but that is the beginning of the assault here. There's more and more just approaching on that highway. And then Mexico is doing a bit of a counter-offensive, but that is failing. You want some consumer goods? Fine. Oh, can they stop that onslaught or not? I don't think they can. Nope, they lost that town, and now the US Army can start spreading out a little bit and taking the battle to multiple places at once. Okay, well... Mexico's at least trying to hold them off a little bit, but I don't think... Oh! Right, those were anti-aircraft guns down here in the front line, which is usually not a good idea. But there's just more and more troops coming in. I don't think they can stop that onslaught. It's a merchant marine trying to land somewhere, it just doesn't know where to go. Okay, Mexican troops are arriving from the south again. Let's see if they can actually stop that. There is fighting on this side as well. On the... well... oh, and Canal Zone has been eliminated. Oh, that means that we won't be able to go through that soon. Wait a minute. Panama? Oh no, it's partially Mexico. Okay. Interesting. Okay, are we losing money? We are losing money, it's not a massive amount. I suppose we did increase the research a little bit. That might be part of it. Alright, let's have a look. Bulgaria is almost guaranteed to attack us soon. So is Greece. Ecuador is still pretty high, and so is Panama. Panama is now the second highest. Bulgaria is very high in there. But frankly, yeah, I wouldn't mind taking... oh wow. Oh wow. Someone's gonna do a landing here. Or are they going around? They might be going around, actually. That's just the... oh, is that the truth? That might be the truth from Cuba. Yeah. That's probably it. There's some fighting here in the peninsula, you could tell. But we seem to be out of time with this episode. And this time we won't be skipping ahead between the episodes because I want to see how this war goes. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching and until next time, bye bye.